Hello, denizens of the internet. I'm Samuel Herb, and with me today is a special guest,
Hello.
Brax Rohde, my friend from school. He's an entrepreneur. He
Yeah.
is a magician.
uh,
He needs no introduction, and so I will give him none.
or he deserves none. One of the two.
So, this is a drawing here. More specifically, it's for Grubworld, which is a story I've been working on. I probably should have talked about what I did there. Instead, I was introducing you. Brax, this is your fault.
I
This one's on you.
I like this one though.
Oh, good.
This was a good one.
Yeah, so Grubworld, um, it's sort of a fiction blog. Brax, I just showed it to you.
Yep.
What do you think about it?
So far it's so good. I don't know. Pretty interesting.
Okay.
I like what you're doing.
Those are,
The
all right.
three bi or tri weekly
The
thing.
three amigos.
Yeah, that too. Three people. So far so good.
Oh, I didn't realize that it's three people. And it updates thrice a week on Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. Uh,
Yep.
on grubworld.tumblr.com. So it's kind of weird. The best way I can describe it is if someone knows what Night Vale is, it's like that, but it's a blog instead of a podcast. Mm.
I don't know. I think there's an easier way. Like, it's just like
It's like a web comic, but it's
yeah,
not a comic.
but it is kind of.
But it's sort of like a comic. Anyway,
It is a comic.
it's like a comic where
It's a three-time weekly updated web comic.
sure, but there's only one panel per comic,
Yeah.
and then a whole wall of text to read. Uh, I haven't explained anything
Whoa,
about
what are
what
you
I'm
doing
drawing
with the
here.
color here?
Okay, so for this one, because I wanted the
Whoa, it went
colors to be
red.
really
Now
vibrant, I
it's
painted
everywhere.
everything in red and then lightly brushed over with the green. So if you look closely, you can see
It
little.
was vibrant, and then you killed it.
Well, if you zoom in on the final image, you can see little flakes of red, which makes the green kind of pop out.
Is that green?
Yeah, it's sort of a putrescent green.
I mean,
That's what the Crayola color said.
okay,
Putrescent green.
okay.
So yeah, I started with. So actually, the first thing you saw in this video was me messing around with 3D, because I actually cheat. I have a 3D model of the spicy dragon, which is their three-legged bean stand. You know what? It's a long story. Just read it. Um,
It's pretty good so far.
uh, so I have a 3D model of that to keep it the size and proportions consistent between panels. So first I was kind of posing it and getting a good camera angle, took a picture of it, then I drew over it and drew the rest of the composition, which in this case was just the three characters and this big old hole.
Okay, I see it.
And
It's kind of coming into view.
now I'm painting over it, which
First,
just yeah, most of it's green. Then I just
once again,
what?
it's more like a poo-colored brown.
Yeah,
I mean, to
it's
call that green's pretty
it's more
generous.
yellowish, really.
Yeah, I don't
Uh,
know.
but yeah. So I kind of go between painting just straight up, which in this case most of it's just painted. Well, there I was listening to jazz radio. In case you were wondering, that's what that little window popped up was. Yeah, or
Mm.
doing what I'm doing here, which is first of all painting in a silhouette, and then I fill in the
Oh,
colors.
I see what's going down now.
Yeah, it helps for
And
really sharply silhouetted pieces of the composition to just get it in there first as a big shape, and then go in with all the colors and details. But some things like the hole are a lot more organic, and it's easier to just go in all a brushing each hand, waving at the canvas. Except it's digital, so not really.
yeah.
I have a pen that I kind of wave around on this piece of plastic, and then art happens. Well, I've run out of things to say. What do you think, Brax?
I don't know. I'm still confused on what's happening.
What's happening, like in the drawing?
It moves so fast. I don't know.
It's sped up a
Like
bit. I don't have time to
I don't know.
not speed it up.
So what? Let's go with what got you started with Grub World, because
Oh,
I'm
this
pretty sure
is
they don't know how like
this an interview now?
crazy your mind is. Yeah.
Um,
No. Since you haven't really talked about Grub World, apparently.
it's true. I haven't. At least
So now's a good time to start.
not on this particular venue, being my YouTube channel, which is watched by a person. Probably.
Your mom.
There's
No,
my mom watches it. So
no, I don't even
there.
know if your mom watches it.
Well,
She probably.
no, she watched one of them. So there you
I might
go.
watch it.
One viewer. Okay, so talking about Grubworld, I guess it's I don't know. It started a long time ago as a bunch of different ideas that kind of amalgamated into what is currently Grubworld. I guess the first thing I did in writing was actually a journal that takes place in the timeline before this story does. It's actually I'm not going to get too much into it because I will eventually post those original journal posts when I when I'm away, as I'm planning to be this summer, and don't feel like writing posts to accommodate for that time. Yep, because I'm lazy. I got other things to do. Um,
So we got like Z, Tomka, and Cram.
yeah,
Cram, yeah.
which actually Z is actually Elizabeth, Cram is actually Colin, and Tomka's first name is Lyubov,
Which they
uh,
don't
which is
say in.
never referenced in the comic and probably never will be. So
So
maybe.
congratulations to the
There you
few
go.
people that listen to
There
this.
you go to my YouTube viewers. Some exclusive behind the scenes look at the name of one of the main characters. Really, um, that's all you need from me. That's what you came here for, right?
Yep.
All my people.
So.
Hmm? Oh, and there was
Mm,
actually. So after I did that journal post, then it was going to be a comic, like with panels and speech bubbles, and I started writing that, and it was terrible. And I thought to myself, why is this so bad? And then I figured it out, and then I wrote it this way instead, which I think is a more interesting format anyway, and it works better with the kind of story and characters that I have.
and it suits your writing
That yes,
style a
that's
whole
very
lot
true.
better. Let's be
Because
honest.
I'm not a writer, or at least I'm not a very experienced writer, and
Yeah.
so but I can write a blog post and I can it's easier for me to embody a character rather than trying to write dialogue for a lot of different characters and not have basically I just prefer writing in first person, I guess. Is really what it is.
It's finally coming into like view now.
Yeah,
It's so nice.
it is. Isn't it magical when
It
you start
whoa,
realizing,
now it is.
yeah, I did some level adjustments there. That's what's nice about digital is you can just say, "Hey, I don't like any of this. I want it to be all slightly darker." And if you're working in acrylics,
You're
that
you're
that's not
doomed.
fun.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you can kind of do washes to darken stuff, but it's not quite as convenient or as sketchy. Like you can just kind of think, and you're like, bam, it's there. Whereas things like
There's
brushwork,
green.
there's
There's
some,
green for
yeah,
reference.
yep.
There it went. It was there for a split second. Okay, continue on.
What was I talking about? Oh, I guess how,
Level adjustments.
yeah, but how like brushwork in digital is maybe I would consider it more difficult to make it look natural than if you're using real tools. So it's just different,
It's a
guys.
trade off.
It's
It's a
different,
trade off.
guys. Don't be hating on either one. But also, I don't want to buy canvases and paints for each one of these posts that people. Uh,
Hopefully someday we'll read. Oh, look at
one
that.
day,
A little a little Tumblr input in the bottom right
yeah, I do
corner.
have that little logo in there. I don't put my.
Oh,
Oh, there's a little.
oh, we're done.
Oh, look at it scroll past. I think I. Yep, and then it goes like that.
Oh, and there we
Well,
go. That is one Grub World post.
goodbye, people of the internet.